Welcome to Women's Brew, where women talk about beer. In today's cocktail-inspired episode, we're looking at beers imitating margaritas. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us! So I am going to just remind everybody, I'm going to do this regularly, just at the beginning. Don't forget that we are on coffee now. We are. If you want to come buy us a beer, come on down. The link will be in the show notes. It's in our bios on all the places as well. Come on down, buy us a beer. If you buy us a beer, you get bonus content. It's fun times.
We've got some brewery tours up there already.
We've got some brewery tour. We've got brewery tour.
What else?
Some beer tastings.
Beer tastings. We're going to have our quarter review.
Yeah.
Our quarterly goal review.
See how
project management at work.
Yeah, she's very excited about that one. So, if you would like to help us to continue to make excellent content, and when you donate, you can tell us what you want to hear about, and we will listen. Not that we don't listen anyway, but we will particularly listen if you donate and buy us a beer or buy us a coffee. So head on to that, over to that. It is in the show notes now. Anyway, what are we doing today? Margaritas, right. So we're back onto the cocktail-inspired beers. And today we're looking at margaritas. Now, Tori, how do you feel about a margarita?
I don't really like margaritas.
Really?
Okay, what I'll say is I
pizza, not the pizza, the cocktail.
No, I know. I don't really. So I'm not a fan. I like margaritas. Okay. I don't like traditional margaritas. Okay. I like my go-to in the US was a strawberry margarita with a sugar rim. I don't like salt rims. It's aggressive. Was it with you that I had a drink that had a salt rim, and I was like, nah, I cannot drink this, and I had to wipe the salt off of it. It might not have been you, but basically I had a cocktail and I was like, there is too much salt on this rim. And it serves a purpose with margaritas.
Yeah.
But also I was like, nah, I need a sugar rim.
No. See, I am a straight up margarita on the rocks salt rim.
Like, well, that was another question.
Give me the good tequila too.
So you're on the rocks, not blended.
I like a blended one, and to be honest, it's probably better to have a blended one because I will suck down a regular one. Like, they are gone.
I think that's what's quite interesting. Like, about a lot of these cocktails is like you can have them blended or on the rocks, and what I've noticed is that from my experiences in both countries, blended, like frozen blended ones, seem to be more popular in like a serving preference in the US as opposed to here where it tends to be more on the rocks. Now I don't really know if there's logic behind that any way, or if it just happens to be taste buds in the different places.
I mean, I've just got to say, it is incredibly rare to get a really good tequila in the UK. It's the one thing, not tequila, it is incredibly rare to get a really good margarita in the UK. Like, I have just not found one that I'm like, yes, I'm 100% pleased with this. This is what I wanted. Like, although I say that, and then the other week I was at Cobham Services, because we're at that age now where, you get your favourite service station.
It's true.
Services, right?
It's true. Membry, I love you because
love it at Cobham because they've now got a Mexican place there, and you can get margaritas at the Mexican place. You can get churros and you can get margaritas, and actually that margarita mix was really good. But I was driving, so I didn't have it with tequila.
I love that you are talking about favourite service stations so much because this is like a frequent thing. So this is like so not the episode, but I feel like this needs to be said, and I'm going to say what I say. Like, I'm not a Costa person. I mean, I'm normally like a just make my own coffee person nowadays, actually. I think if the pandemic's done anything for me as well, it's like just turned me on to just buying coffee, like really good high quality like coffee beans, and just making the coffee ourselves and like doing V60 pour overs and all that kind of stuff. So like I know, like, our friend Lisa will be happy because she used to hate the fact that I was like, oh, get a Starbucks. But now, no. We do a V60 pour overs and all that fancy stuff. But, like, I will still have a Starbucks if I'm going to chain coffee restaurants. Because Costa, for me, is like, ugh, hate it.
No, Costa,
like, you can me, it's fine. I said what I said. Like,
please
I don't care.
No, I don't know what they do.
You need the welcome breaks. Because the welcome breaks are the
Starbucks.
ones that have Starbucks.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll drive up and go, should we go here? And it's Costa. And I'm like, nah. No. keep driving. Yeah. We don't need a wee yet. Yeah. Let's keep going. 20 more miles. We got this.
Went to Bristol the other week, and my dad and I stopped at a service station, and then, like, a little bit further down the road, I was like, that one had Starbucks. Why didn't we just keep going?
I just keep going. I full on just keep going. So yeah, it's very important. Like, let us know. Let us know what your favourite service
station? And there was
I go shout out Membury because it makes me think of South Park Memberries, but also it has the drive-through Starbucks, the inside Starbucks, and KFC. So it's I mean,
what more could you need? Other than this Mexican
place.
And
it's on the way back from Bristol. The thing is, this is on the way back from Bristol. Right. It's not fancy. It's not as fancy of a place. I think I have been to that one that you're talking about, though. Yeah. Is it like a big...
You have to go, like
windowed front. It's like a proper big, like, food
and you have to
court.
go, like, if you come off the wrong side, you have to go all the way around the roundabouts to get to it and then come all the way back round again.
Yeah, I've been to, like, a few really, really nice
Gordon drove the wrong way the other week because he was listening to the... oh, no, it wasn't Gordon, it was my dad. He was listening to the sat-nav because the sat-nav was trying to make us go back onto the to the motorway. And I was like, no, Dad, the sat-nav does not know that we've stopped to go to the services. It's trying to take us back on the motorway.
Oh. I'm so glad we've cleared that up, that what the best service station is anyone that doesn't have Costa. This is great.
Also, that is beer related because I believe Sure Shot have a beer called Favourite Service Station. So also, I think it is beer related.
There's been service stations, and I want to say there's at least one that's like up near Leeds, and I could be wrong, but there is a service station that has like a really good, I don't remember the name of it, but has like a really good craft bottle shop inside the service station.
Go, see?
Yeah. So, I mean,
service stations.
Pick your favourite service stations. Like, let us know what it is and why it's not one with Costa.
Anyway, margaritas. So standard ingredients in a margarita.
Okay. So like you've got all the like there's all these different variants, but like typically your standard margarita is tequila, triple sec, but it's kind of like anything that's that orange flavored liquor. Like Contro works as well. You know, is what it is. And then a lime juice, and then you traditionally serve it in a margarita like that. The glass for it is a margarita glass. It has its own glass. And then you serve that with a salt rim typically, or you would do it like there are the ways that you'd have it with a shaker of as the Jimmy Buffett song. My dad's a big Jimmy Buffett fan. As the Jimmy Buffett song goes, with a shaker of salt and then a wedge of lime, and you use that to sort of balance out sweetness, and it just balances flavors. And I'm not a fan of the salt, but it is what it is. And then some recipes
on a margarita.
some recipes do use simple syrup as like an extra ingredient as well, but that's not those are all those other ones are like the basic core ones you're pretty much gonna find in every recipe. Are you a big tequila drinker?
Yeah. If I'm like,
I was not expecting tequila. That you were just like
rum and tequila, rum and spirits. Like, I don't drink a lot of spirits anymore, but if I'm going to spirits, rum and tequila.
So there's a guy from I'm going to get you a shot.
There's a guy from uni who still owes me a shot of tequila, actually.
See, like,
when did I leave uni? A long time ago. Haven't seen him in a while, but he still owes me a shot of tequila.
I remember the first time having a tequila shot was at a house party, and I was actually surprised that I didn't hate it. I was like, I remember it being fairly tasteless, but I probably had quite a few drinks at that point.
Tequila, though.
Like, and I did it the proper way, which is that, like, would you consider this does this translate over here? The proper way of having the shot, you have like a little bit of lime, a little bit of salt on your hand, and then you have the shot. So you do the shot, you lick the salt, and then you
lime. Yeah,
lime. Is that like does that translate to you?
Yeah. I mean,
nice.
I mean, I'm going to say it does, but I drank tequila when I was in the US, so maybe I'm influenced. I don't know.
And did you bring it back here and you're like, this is how we do it?
I know, I think that's the way we used to do it here. Can't remember, it's a long time.
I don't
I've been
think
drinking
I've done
tequila for a long time. I'm a Jose girl. Jose Cuervo.
Okay.
Is mine.
Okay.
I'm not a Patron. I'm a Jose Cuervo girl. Jose is my friend.
I can't really comment because I don't drink a lot of. Again, I don't really drink a lot of tequila. I think like I'm not a spirits person. I would, like if someone has a tequila cocktail like a margarita or whatever, I'll try it. But I don't really do. I'm boring. I don't really do a lot of shots, anyways. If someone's like do a shot,
I don't do shots anymore.
I tend to be like nah,
We're gonna
and then
end
they'll
up
be
doing
like
shots the next
do
time we're
it.
together now, aren't we?
Hard pass. The thing is, if someone buys a shot, it's like it's
You
like
can't.
with any
You feel
shots.
like you can't say no, right?
You go no, and then they hand
No.
it to you, and you're like, oh, fine.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
But yeah, so these are that's like standard ingredients, but then you do have some variants, and I've like rounded up some of the obvious ones, and then some of the more interesting ones that I found. There's quite a lot out there, but I just did like a quick high level view. So I also wanted to mention that you can kind of change up the flavour by using like a flavoured tequila. And I specifically wanted to mention there is an apple cinnamon tequila, apparently.
Oh. I feel like we need to
I'm
track
about
this down.
that life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't look to see what it was. I did
With
not
a
look
cinnamon
to see what
sugar
it was,
rim,
but,
then?
like, bruh. I am... You'll like the last... I think you'll like the last one that I picked as well, but like, bruh. Yeah, I'm into that. I would do a shot of that. Like, I'd probably make that my drink of choice, to be honest. Love it.
Then
It
do you
depends on how many cinnamons there are.
But then do you have to lick like a line of cinnamon and some
would.
an apple wedge?
Yeah. Like, hell yeah.
I feel like this
they'd
is
be like...
TikTok
It would
in
be
the
like
making.
nobody. Literally nobody. And then it would be me like, who wants to see me eat this cinnamon? And then everyone would be like, no. And I'd be like, yeah, cool, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it anyway.
It's that thing of like, what, you know, one like and I'll do this thing, and it's just like you have one view on this post, and I'd be like, great, I'm doing it. I guess the people want it.
Like I feel like this is either bonus content or this is a TikTok in the making.
I don't think anyone wants to watch me doing tequila shots. I'll do if
you
that's what
wanna
people
see-
want. I'll do it, but I
if you
don't
wanna
really
see
want to.
Tori do shots of apple cinnamon tequila, let us know.
I'll do tequila shots if the people want me to, but I can't imagine that's that fun. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in because that made me particularly excited. Then this one, because my mum listens, I'll throw this one in for my dad, because my dad's name's Tom, and there's Tommy's Margarita. So that's one, and basically that swaps out the orange liqueur for agave nectar. Ooh. So what it is tequila, lime juice, and agave nectar, nice. Preferably 100% agave. So that's one, and I believe that was like from like Tommy's bar somewhere. But that was mentioned in quite a few different websites, so I don't think it was just that particular bar. That was like, here's my variant. A lot of people have picked it up as well. And then this is the obviously one that probably most people will know already, which is the Beer Margarita or the Corona Rita. And I'm guessing that it was developed by Corona, because that's the one you see all the time. And it's basically a margarita on the rocks with the Corona sort of upended into it.
I mean, let's be
have
real.
you ever had one of those? I have not.
I don't think I have, actually. And let's be real, if you're going to drink a Corona, you've got to put some lime in it to make it actually drinkable.
Yeah.
I think the only time I've ever drunk a Corona is when it was free.
I actually don't... The thing is, I don't mind a Corona, but that's not
a Corona fan.
It's not the option of what I'd go seek out, but like if somebody's having a party and they're like, I've got Coronas, I've got Fosters, I've got Carlin, I've got, you know, Punk IPA, I've got that, like, I'm probably gonna go for the Corona if it's nice and sunny out. I suppose
if
that,
it's got a lime in it, but really I'd just be like, where is
if you don't have the
water?
lime, I'm like, I'm all right. But then also I don't feel the need to chuck it into a margarita.
No.
But yeah, it's not just that. It's any. I guess you can use any light beer pretty much. But I'm like, meh, I don't need it. There's also spicy margarita. I've heard about spicy margs. I don't know if that's a thing over here. But yeah, I mean, typically you muddle the jalapeno or a spicy pepper with the agave syrup, and then you sort of top it with the tequila. I like spicy, but that's also again a flavor combo I'm not really into myself.
That's not for me.
Strawberry margarita, that is my jam. That is exclusively like when I lived in the US and I'd go to like Chili's. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like feeling like a Chili's, like super amazing, authentic Mexican restaurant, or like on the border chain restaurant. That's basically like the drink. They would do like 2-for-1 cocktails, and I'd be like, I guess I'll just
Chili's
double.
is good, but
I'm not knocking Chili's, but I understand.
Not authentic Mexican.
No, and I understand like the meme that is Chili's, but saying that if someone took me to a Chili's, I'd eat it. I'm not mad about it. But then they'd get like 2-for-1 cocktails, and you get your own, like the cocktails would come in a little cocktail shaker, and I'd always get 2 strawberry margs with the sugar rim. That is for me, and that's again like you can, if you're making it frozen, you just add like frozen strawberries, so it kind of helps add the body in that, which is good. There's a watermelon margarita, which I like watermelon, so I'd probably try that. That's kind of where the normal-ish margaritas end that I've listed. The next one, avocado margarita.
Oh.
An avocado margarita, like that, just to me, I'm not an avocado fan.
No, I'm not an avocado fan. I feel like it would make it
works.
too thin. No?
I don't really know how you make it, because it just was listed, like, I was looking through the list of variant
you're gonna have
ones,
to blend it.
like, yeah, I don't think that's for me.
No,
let us know if you've tried one. I've never seen it in the wild.
No.
I've never heard about it before. It was just weird. There was then also what is called a breakfast margarita.
Okay.
And that adds orange marmalade to the mix. And that's like for texture and the citrusy sweetness, like an extra little bit of sweetness. Yeah. And then this is the one that I think we can all agree.
Can I not just have a margarita for breakfast?
I mean, absolutely you can if you put breakfast in front of it.
Feels like it's a holiday thing. Like, I'm on holiday. This is my breakfast margarita.
There is very specifically like criteria for when. At least I feel like it's more. I've noticed it's more as like a British thing than an American thing. Like, so American people drink on holiday, obviously, but I feel like it almost feels very uniquely British to be like, it's holiday, it's day one of holiday. Right. I'm treating myself to a cocktail for breakfast. Right. Like, I'm on my way, I've got a flight to catch.
You're in the airport, it doesn't matter that it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you are getting an alcoholic beverage. Like, those are the rules.
Yeah.
Like, literally when I met Gordon the first time we went on holiday, he's like, we've got to go have a drink. Like, he's like, that is literally the law. You have to go and have a drink.
And I feel like it's normally cocktails, but like I've definitely had like breakfast beer before as well. Oh, yeah. And you're just like, why am I having a beer at like 9 o'clock? Like, it feels wrong. Like, at least like, I kind of feel like the argument for a cocktail is you're like, oh, but it's juice. So you're like,
it's way stronger than a beer though.
Yeah, but it's juice. So you're like, no, it's basically just a bit of juice. But yeah, so, and then the last one, which is the variant I think we can both get on board with, and we're going to probably get a lot of hate in our DMs for, is the Thanksgiving margarita, which includes addition of, I think, allspice dram, which I don't really know what dram is, but allspice dram, amaretto, and pumpkin puree.
Let's make these. I want to make this one.
And I would like to say, this is definitely the one. So people might be like, yes, I still think it's a no, but people might be like, yes, I would like to see you do tequila shots, because they know that I've just said that I'm not a shot person. Like, I just don't do shots, and I'm just like, tequila's fine. So I feel like people would be like, yeah, definitely do that, because I want to see you suffer, and fine. And I said I would do it. Like,
I don't think any of our listeners want to see you suffer. I don't think that.
I mean, I don't. It's fine if you do. I'd probably do the same if I were in their position. So it's fine. But I imagine that the one thing they do not want us to do, this is going to be the one where we're like, anybody, like nobody, literally nobody, and we're like, Thanksgiving margaritas, guys, and everyone's going to hate that. Bonus content that no one's going to pay for. We'll give that to you for free, because we know that you really want to see that. Yeah, those are all the variants. Now, we could talk about some more stuff, but shall we just crack open our canned margarita? Because I'm waiting for you to go on your rant.
I'm so mad about this. Like, so we've tried to get a canned cocktail to help us out with these so that we know what the flavours are. But the only one that I could get, and I went to the supermarket tonight on the way home because I was like, I'm going to get like a proper one, because I just picked this one up. It's from Miami Cocktail Co. and I got it from Morrison's. and it is an elderflower and ginger margarita spritz. No, ma'am. That is not the correct flavours for a margarita. But I got it in like, it was like 4 for £6 or something. So I was like, oh, fine, I'll get that one. So I've got something. And then I was like, no, we're not playing this game. Like, I'm going to go get a proper margarita in a can. There are, just to bolster my, you cannot get a decent margarita in this country. You can't even get a margarita in a can.
And you can get pretty much everything in a can.
Elderflower and ginger in it. Like, there was a plethora of different hard seltzers from Bud Light, but was there a margarita? No.
You can get wine. All kinds of wine. You can get white wine.
There was various different types of gin and something.
I've got a Negroni in a can.
There was even orders a Negroni of like, there was like Tanqueray had an entire shelf of different gins. Like, but could I get a decent margarita? No, Joanne. Continue to not be able to get decent margaritas in the UK.
I love that your response immediately was like, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Well, I, on the other hand, had a different experience. I've got two.
I know.
I've got Moth Margarita and Dead Man's Fingers.
We've gone back to that
I kind of have a bit of both, to be fair.
Which is the same as when we were trying to get beers from supermarkets. Like, the difference in what's available in them is just wrong. Now, this is a weird colour for a start.
I'm going to put my Dead Man's Fingers into this fun skull glass.
Oh, fun. Yeah, so my margarita looks like a hazy IPA.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that was kind. I was going to say something gross, but that's kind. Oh, dirty glass alert. Mine are both clear. I mean, this one kind of has like that little bit of...
Oh, yours are clear.
Yeah, but this one has that little... You can't really see it, but it kind of has enough of like a little bit of filtering look to it.
That like orange juice with ginger in it.
Oh, my Moth one does sort of smell like a watered down margarita.
I don't even think this is a proper margarita, right? So
it's absolutely not.
It says on here, it's an organic agave wine paired with organic juices. This is not a margarita.
So I'm going to be real to you. The Moth one, I thought the Dead Man's Fingers was probably going to be better because they do actually do like spirits. This is a proper... So this one's like a teeny tiny 125ml can. Dead Man's Fingers is a proper like 330ml job there. And it's a fun looking can and I thought it would be alright. Really, the Moth one, the teeny tiny Moth one, probably smells the closest to a margarita. It just doesn't smell as alcoholic, whereas the Dead Man's Fingers kind of smells like Sprite.
Oh. This kind of reminds me of Sprite, actually.
Oh. Yeah, the Moth tastes like margarita.
Now I'm sad, because you've got one that tastes like margarita. Mine does not taste like margarita. It tastes quite nice. Like,
I would kind of like it better frozen, maybe.
Yeah. I think if someone gave this to me at a party, I'd be like, okay, cool. But
I'm only mad because it tastes right, and I'm like, ugh.
We're at such different ends of the spectrum on this one. It's really interesting.
There's so many other cocktails that I would rather have, and this is not for me.
It's fine. I'll drink all of your mugs. I love a mug. This is all right. I'd drink this. I'm not going to go out and buy any more. But if it was what was available, I'd drink it. It's quite refreshing. It's not a margarita.
I had the opportunity to buy that one, and I was like, no. I saw it in my online shopping order, and I was like, absolutely no, because that's not what I'm looking for. But I was like, sounds nice, but not what I'm looking for.
It was the only.
So I went into the shop, and that's when I found the other one, and yeah, the Dead Man's Fingers though, it's nice because it doesn't really taste like margarita. It does taste a bit like Sprite.
I said that the Dead Man's Fingers one would be quite nice because they're
there's almost a bit of like ginger to it almost.
I think you'd like this one because there's definitely a touch of ginger. Like there's ginger at the end. It kind of tastes like orange juice with Sprite in it and a bit of ginger.
This says margarita cocktail made with Dead Man's Fingers tequila, reposado and lime and orange flavouring for a taste of the unusual. Oh, this is a Bristol and Bath distillery. Interesting. But yeah, I think this is far more enjoyable than my
I feel like that's
tiny
where
little...
UK margaritas go wrong. I think they put too much of the orange flavour in it and not enough of the lime. Like, the thing that I want from a margarita is I want that lime kick. That's what I want.
I mean, I'm still trying to drink this moth one. And, like, again, if you really want a margarita in a can, get moth. If you want something that tastes nice, get the dead man's fingers. Like, that is... Joe, you get the moth. I'll get another dead man's fingers.
If I could find one, I would.
I'll get you one. I'll get you one here so you can try it.
Should we,
because I can't exactly put this back in a can and send it to you.
No. Should we
take
that nasty taste out your mouth and go on to our first beer that has been inspired by a margarita?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. I'm going to take another sip of the dead man's fingers first.
So, are we starting with the Pastore or are we starting with the Donzoko?
I think probably the Donzoko is probably better. Because I think once we have that, we have the Pastore, it's going to be...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Meh.
Yeah. So our first one, we've got Donzoko's Margarita Rice Lager. Oh, I'm excited for this one. It says loads of lime.
I'm excited to see how much lime
yeah,
we will get out of this.
And I mean, Donzoko just make good beer anyway. So
they make great lagers.
Yeah.
All right. I've got the kitchen roll at the ready this time because I just don't. It's here. Oh, we don't need it. It's good. That ASMR sound.
See, that's the kind of colour I'd expect from margarita. It's like a lemony yellow colour.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, like, it has that... compared to the moth, because, like, I mean, you really kind of can't obviously compare them because they're different, but
yeah,
as this is a lager, you do expect there to be that, like, some tinge of that, like, you know, goldish colour to it. But they both, when I hold it up, like, next to the moth one, they're very clear, but it almost is like there's a, like, I don't know the word that I'm looking for to describe it, because it's very see-through. It's obviously not hazy at all, but it does look a bit... murky's not the word I'm looking for.
There are particles in it.
No, not what I'm looking for.
Like
it looks like it's like filtered. Like there's like a filter over it is the only way that I can use to describe it, because there's not really another way to describe it. And they both kind of have that look to it. But yeah, I would say they look pretty comparable.
It smells limey.
It does, yeah.
It smells like a really good Radler.
For me, it smells like when I do, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, and it's going to sound offensive, but I feel like it's nice. It kind of has a similar smell to like when you have a Corona with the lime, and you put like quite a lot of lime in it. But the way we were just talking about Corona, and then I'm like, I'm going to describe it this way, and everyone's going to be mad. But that is like...
It's just a controversial episode that we're doing right here.
Oh, I do like the liminess to it. Ooh. That is a fair amount of lime. And there is like that, the back end of it is almost like a bit of saltiness.
Yeah.
And it's, this is really enjoyable.
This is really
in one sip in, and it's very enjoyable.
I'm like, excuse me, while I go get my margarita glass and some rocks. Just going to pour this over, it'll be great.
Or they need like a slushy machine and put that in a slushy machine.
This would be so good. This would be so good through a slushy machine.
I kind of like want to invest in a slushy machine. You can't get this anymore, annoyingly, but if you could, I hope they make it again for the summer.
Yeah, it's 5%, and of course it is a rice lager, so it's made with rice, so that's given a lot of big lightness to the body. Oh yeah, this would go down well in the garden in the summer.
I was going to say, it's definitely like a sunny
drinking it by the pool. I haven't got a pool in the garden, but...
I don't. I've got an inflatable hot tub, but I feel like it's definitely a pool drink.
But your sunny's on.
Yeah. Sun tanning. Like, I feel like I could lay out in the sun and have this happily.
I think it's I think if you've got someone who particularly enjoys a margarita, I feel like you could give them this and be like, here is a margarita drink. Ha ha! It is beer.
I think it's that thing of like, I think that it wouldn't, in my opinion, it wouldn't fool someone.
Oh no.
But I think it would be one of those things where if someone was looking to get into beer and you asked them what they normally drank and they were like, I normally drink margaritas, it is a beer that you could make that. If they were looking for something light, like lighter and more sessionable and not too full on, and they normally drank things like margaritas or things that were quite like cocktails that were quite lime heavy, or you know, they really want that like citrus burst, I feel like this would be really perfect to give them.
Yeah,
because there is a lightness to it as well. It's very like the thinner body, I feel like makes really good for the hot weather. It's not too filling, it's not too heavy.
It's very thirst quenching, I think.
Yeah.
And that touch of salt at the end makes you want to go back for more.
Exactly.
Also, it's got a really pretty can.
It does.
Like,
I do like it. It's very eye-catching.
Pinks and limes, and then there's like a flower print on it, and there's limes and salt. I like it a lot.
I do as well.
Yeah, this does not resemble the cocktail in the can that I have got at all. In the best, in the best possible kind of way.
I'm kind of I've ditched the moth one now. I'm just gonna focus on Dead Man's Fingers. Let me just. It's better than Dead Man's Fingers for sure. I feel like again, Dead Man's Fingers would be like if I took Sprite or 7-Up and then put like. It does not taste like there's alcohol in it at all. So really, like. It's just sort of like I've mixed that with something else. I don't know. Whereas like the Margarita rice lager tastes more in a similar vein. Like it doesn't taste identical, but it does taste in a similar vein to what when I'd be drinking a margarita. I feel like that's also the appropriate time to have this. Or again, and this is like. Not meant to be shady. It is the time that I would replace like a Corona with a lime in the sun.
Yeah,
I'd 10 times rather have this.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. What ABV is your cocktail in a can, by the way?
Oh god, I don't know. I ditched the can of the moth one. I gave that away. I can find out though. Hang on.
Yum.
I'm just googling now. So this probably explains it. So the moth margarita was 14.9%, and that 14.9%. That's probably why. Like, I mean, I normally eyeball my spirits anyway, so I probably normally like make them on the stronger side anyways. But I think that's maybe because it's only 125ml can.
Yeah,
it's like quite a lot being put into a 125ml can. That's I think you probably like it because it does have that very like boozy margarita.
Yeah, that booziness to it.
My Dead Man's Fingers is only 5%.
Oh yeah, so my spritz is only 4%. So that means my rice lager is higher ABV than my cocktail in a can.
It is literally mine's identical. It's like, but yeah, very sessionable. Very like I hope they bring this back and that we can enjoy it in the summer. So there's a bit of mystery surrounding bringing it back to margaritas, around who invented the margarita. Do you want to hear some of the lore over who invented margarita? So I'll just give you like some high level of like, there's numerous different stories as we sup on our Donzoko margarita rice lagers.
Because it is yum.
Because it is yum, very much so. So one story of a possible claimant is that Santos Cruz, who was a head bartender at a place in Galveston, Texas, created the margarita for singer Peggy Margaret Lee in 1948. He'd done it with equal portions of Blanco tequila, Contro, and fresh lime juice, and he modelled it after the popular sidecar for Miss Lee. Because she liked tequila. So
I knew I liked Peggy Lee.
And apparently she never disputed that story. So
nice.
That's just one version. So I mean, we can share this link. Basically, I'm getting all of these different stories from an article called Margaritaville: Who Invented the Margarita by southernfood.org.
Amazing.
So that's the first one. The second one was that it's Enrique Bastate Gutierrez who created it in the early 1940s as paid homage to Rita Hayworth, whose birth name was Margarita Carmen Dolores Cancino and was born in Tijuana, Mexico. Fun fact, my grandmother's name was Rita. So I feel like my dad likes Jimmy Buffett. My grandmother's name was Rita. I'm supposed to like margaritas. And I've been to Margaritaville in Texas, in Las Vegas, and still don't like it.
I've been to a few different Margaritas.
Have you been to Margarita?
Yeah.
My dad obviously wanted to go to Margaritaville in Vegas when I was not old enough to drink, annoyingly, so I couldn't even enjoy it. Because I would have, but...
I mean, being on cruise ships, there are a few in different places. I've been to the one in Jamaica.
Ooh.
For sure.
Nice.
I think I've been to some others. I went to the Land Shark Bar in Universal as well.
Amazing. My dad probably love that as well. My dad's definitely tiki bar guy.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I've had a yard of margarita at some point. Probably. I've had yards of various different cocktails. Back in the cruise ship days. That's what you did on your day off.
That's it. That's my dad. Tiki Tommy. He's probably loving that. He would love to go to visit every Margaritaville, I'm sure. There's also Carlos Danny Herrera, who is a bartender at a bar that was basically on the road between Tijuana and Rosarito Beach. That was in 1947 to 1948. Came up with the margarita for an actress and showgirl, Marjorie King, whose stage name was Rita de la Rosa, and which she adopted for her piano gigs around San Diego at the Hotel de Coronado and the Del Mar. So yeah, that's one potential origin story. There's Francisco Pancho Morales, who the claim is that he invented the margarita on the 4th of July in 1942 in Juarez, Mexico. And that's at a bar called Tommy's Place, so I don't know if that's maybe the same one where it's like Tommy's Margarita. Yeah. Basically, a female customer requested a magnolia, which was brandy, Cointreau, and an egg yolk topped with champagne, but he could only remember the Cointreau from the recipe, so he basically improvised it, and then apparently it was a massive hit, and so he taught it at the Juarez Bartender School, and then the recipe spread. That's another version. There's Danny Negrete presented the margarita as a wedding present to Margarita, his future sister-in-law, in Puebla, Mexico. And that was in 1936. I don't know who that is or why that would have even have been like a relevant, you know what I mean? Like some of these stories, like there's these stories and you're like, but yeah, I don't know any of how that would have happened. There's Margarita Sames created the drink at her Acapulco home in 1948 during a Christmas party. Who she served the prototype to Nick Hilton, who was the founder of the Hilton hotel chain. And like all these different hoteliers apparently were there. And then it turns into like as well as actors were also there, including John Wayne. So apparently that was there. Knowing many people drank tequila, they proceeded to lick the salt. She garnished her So knowing that many people drank tequila preceded by a lick of salt, she garnished her cocktail with a rim of coarse salt. That's supposedly the lore behind that. Other hopeful stories alongside this, who recall drinking the margaritas in the 1930s. So
it's not a very old drink then, is it?
Well, I don't know, because then so basically there was also, I think, the origin story of it as well, or the first time it was sort of published. There's two different stories for how it was like first published, one of which was in 1937, published by London Bartender, UK Bartenders Association or something like that. It was in the book Cafe Royal Cocktail Book under the name Picador, which is another name for another name for a bullfighter. That's a version of it. But yeah, it just really weird and interesting.
And often it was made for a woman, which is interesting.
Yeah, that seems to be like a lot of it is like made, like a woman's requested it or made for a woman, which that was also really interesting ways. Yeah, so here's what I've got. So the first print mention of the Margarita as we currently know it was in December of 1953 in an issue of Esquire, which was calling for an ounce of tequila, a dash of triple sec, and the juice of half a lemon or lime. However, in 1937... it was published in a book by William Tarling, Cafe Royal Cocktail Book, and that was published by the UK Bartenders Guild. And it mentions using a similar recipe, which is a fourth fresh lime juice or lemon, a fourth Cointreau, and half tequila shaken, and that was called a picador. So that was, the first written version of it.
It was first recorded in a British book. Why can't I get a decent one in the UK?
I don't know.
That is my question.
Yeah, it's really weird. But also, alternatively, I feel like you never see strawberry margarita. Like, you never see varying margaritas. When you see a margarita, it is normally normal margarita. And I'm like, why can't I just get a fucking strawberry margarita? Why is it that fucking difficult?
It's very difficult, apparently.
Like, you take it personally. Like, this is bullshit.
I do. I'm like, what is this utter nonsense? I
will say,
margarita.
The lingering that I just got in that sip that I just took very much felt the same as like that moth cocktail, like what was left after I had a sip of the moth cocktail. So I think, in terms of my opinion on the Donzoko, nails the brief.
Yeah, 100%. I'm very pleased with it.
Alright. Shall we, before I give you some fun facts to leave us off, shall we crack open the Pastore Margarita Alananas?
Yes.
Which is a pineapple.
Pineapple margarita goes. I mean, what style isn't perfect for a margarita other than a goes?
I literally was like thinking it was going to be bananas because of the name. I'm going to put that out there.
Of course.
I am cultured. I'm just getting over being ill as well, so I'm just like if you can hear it, my nose is very congested and I'm just in fuck it mode, so... filterless mode.
This one's a lot more yellow in colour, but
it's got pineapple more head on this one.
So, yeah,
for me, anyways.
Oh, so the back of the can says a double ghost style beer brewed with sea salt and coriander, fermented with our mixed culture of Hornindalkvik and Lactobacillus, conditioned on pineapple, lime, and blood orange. That's exciting.
This one's a 7%er as well. Nice.
She's a big girl.
Oh yeah.
Lime.
I was going to say it is very heavily lime.
Get a bit of the lacto.
I was going to say there's almost like a slight like vinegary sort of smell.
Yeah.
Don't really get the orange or the salt, but I definitely get that. But then also my nose is still partially blocked. I'm just out here trying to survive and breathe. So like it is hard with my nose is completely stuffed, but I can very much smell the like sharp lemon or lime sort of smell to that. I'm gonna sip it.
Cheers.
Ooh, she tart.
She is tart.
It says on the back, so as you said, it says fresh pineapple, salt, sharp citrus, dry. It is sharp citrus. That is...
It is sharp citrus.
Sharp citrus, but I like it. I don't really taste the pineapple immediately. I'm only one sip in.
It is there. I think it's adding sweetness.
It feels more in the linger, like I'm getting it in the sort of what's lingering around. It's very much... the sharp citrus and the salt, and then a second after I've finished, I feel like I'm left with like a little bit of pineapple.
Yeah, I like it.
And then I feel like the dryness isn't as overt as sometimes when it says dry. It's more like once it's all kind of gone, that dryness starts to like clear house, for lack of a better way to describe it.
Cleans your palate.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I like it. I don't think you could drink as much of this as you could the rice lager, but you know, lager is meant to be drunk in quantity.
I agree.
Double goes is not meant to be drunk in quantity.
Yeah. I think it's another one that I feel like would be quite interesting in a slushy machine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When it was hot out. Like, I feel like it's another one I want
a little umbrella in it.
But then I also feel like people are hating us because we're like, let's take a beer and then put it in a slushy maker.
All these people that queue up at festivals for the slushy machine, don't even. Everyone loves a slushy machine. Come on.
I feel like I could happily have either of these, but I think the Donzoko is more a very obvious representation of a standard margarita.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Whereas this one's definitely more like a variant of margarita.
Yes.
And I think that the Donzoko one I could probably give to more people because I think that the sharpness, like, you have to be a person that can handle that sharpness. But it's really nice. Like, I really enjoy it, and I'm kind of sad that we're drinking it at night when the sun's gone. But
we are sour beer drinkers. We love a really good sour, like, and this is a particularly good sour. Like, I don't think you could give this to someone who likes margarita and be like, here, try this. Or, oh, you want to try a pineapple margarita? Try this. Like, they are not going to thank you for that.
No, I think that's because it is that sharpness. Like, I feel like you go, like, if they normally would drink a margarita with a different type of fruit in it or something.
This is not a gateway beer.
This is still not, it's still not something I think will translate. Beer. Yeah. I like the artwork.
Oh.
It's got
their artwork is always great.
The ram / goat / I don't know.
And he's got a little Hawaiian shirt on with limes and pineapples.
And each hand is holding.
He's double fisted on the margaritas.
Apparently you can't say double fisted because...
Why?
Because I've said double fisted and I've had like so many looks and then I have to be like, shit, translate to like British. And I'm like, double parked. People get really weird when you say double fisted.
Okay, fine. I feel that's their minds. That's their problem, not ours.
I just think I've had so many people that haven't heard it, and I've gone like, "Oh, double fisted," and they're like, "What?" Yeah, he's double. He is quite literally double fisted in there. He's quite literally double fisted
with his margaritas. He's at the airport at 5:00 in the morning. Listeners, Tori just nearly spat her beer out
because he is. You know. He is going Brits abroad.
He is going Brits abroad. He's out with the lads.
I have my Hawaiian shirt on. This guy signifies he is ready to party.
Like, he is off to Cos. He thought he was going to Ibiza, but he's not. He's going to Cos. So he's got the two margaritas in.
A whole backstory.
He's got, like, if you look behind him, he's got his suitcase and he's got, like, a blown up unicorn ring.
Absolutely. Immediately, yes. I love this. You just caught me by surprise when you said that because I was like, yes. He actually is. You know he's going to get there and he's going to be like, where's the all you can drink?
Right. He's either going to get he's either going to get so drunk that he passes out on the beach and gets a really bad suntan, or he's going to end up in a foreign jail.
I love it. This can, I already like the artwork on this can, but now that we've come up with a whole backstory for it, I think I like it even more.
Yeah.
And this, Americans, is what it means to be British.
Don't say that.
It is, though. Like,
that's not what it means to be British.
To go on holiday, to get to the airport and get your cocktail. Get two, because it's 2 for 1. Because, you know, they're like, oh, it's the midweek deal. Get your 2 for 1. I love it. This is amazing. I feel like I have to specify, like, I genuinely do really like this artwork, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm taking the piss out of it. Good. Did I tell you about how, like, one day at work, we sort of just decided we were going to have a Hawaiian
Yes,
party?
I remember you going on Amazon being like, sorry, I've just got to order a Hawaiian shirt. And I was like, what? You're like, yeah, we're just having a Hawaiian day at work. Like...
We just decided one day we were having, like, a Hawaiian shirt. Like, not even a Hawaiian day, like, specifically a Hawaiian shirt day. We were like, one person was like, we should wear Hawaiian shirts on Friday. Like, that would be great. And we were like, yeah, that would be great. And then I was like, I don't have a Hawaiian shirt. And they're like, well, Amazon one. And I was like, okay, I can just get, like, normally I go through the appropriate purchasing channels, but I didn't have time. This was Wednesday and I needed that shirt by Friday. So I was like, okay. And then I ended up getting one that looked really Weird Al. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. It was just really Weird Al. And then it evolved in the span of, like, 24 hours, and it was like Hawaiian shirts, and then we bought plastic coconut
I was going to say,
cups.
didn't you have
I brought my
coconut
blender in and we made
well?
No, I didn't. Someone brought it in and I didn't wear it. And then we had coconut cups, and then we made pina coladas. I brought my blender in.
Wow.
So
Tori doesn't work, people. She just has fun.
I work so hard that we earn our fun.
I know you work very hard.
People are going to be like, what do you even do?
Do?
I buy Hawaiian shirts and make pina coladas. But that's what that made me think of, was like hell yeah, that's me on Hawaiian shirt day. 2 pina coladas in hand. Oh, that was a good day. I want to do that again. Do you want some fun facts about margaritas? Because this is a margarita episode. Cool. National Margarita Day. When we're recording this, we are not far off. The 22nd of February. And when I say National Margarita Day, obviously I mean in the US, because we don't have National Margarita Day over here. Well, we probably do, but
I mean,
it's probably a different day. But yeah, 22nd of Feb is National Margarita Day in the US. And apparently, according to some polls in 2018, it was like the most... I think it was like the Cheers poll. It was the most favourite cocktail in the US was margarita.
That's why you can get a good one in the US. You can't get a good one over here.
Yeah, even though the first published book version.
I'm still salty rim about it. I'm still
salty rim.
Salty rim about it.
Oh, love that. Don't get sour attitude. So Margarita translates to daisy in Spanish. And so, I mean, I didn't take Spanish, I took other languages. And the interesting tie there, though, is that a daisy was an old prohibition drink, which consisted of a spirit, a sugar, and a sour.
Oh, there we go.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
The frozen margarita machine,
which
was
Tori's
invented
favourite.
in 1971. So we see you 70s. Do you want to know about the world's largest margarita?
Yes.
It was made in Las Vegas in 2011.
Of course it was.
And it was called the Lucky Rita. So that's, again, grandmother's name. Don't like margaritas. But the Lucky Rita was created to celebrate the opening of the Flamingo Hotel's Margaritaville Casino. So I've done some calculations for you.
Yeah,
and it consisted of 8,500 gallons, which worked out to about 32,176 litres.
Oh.
And it was served in a 7-foot tall by 10-foot wide tank, which works out to about just over 5 meters tall by just over 3 meters.
They didn't even shape it into like a margarita.
They didn't even shape it into a margarita. They missed an absolute trick.
Like,
you
stick your straw into this tank. What?
Yeah. Well, you get burlesque dancers that like will sit
have
in
like martini
big
glasses.
size margarita. Yeah. Like what are we doing? Why are we not actually? It feels like a half commitment, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's half-assed, isn't it?
Vegas, do better. We know you can do better. But it took over 60 people 300 hours to create. And the ingredients were that it was 2,134 gallons, or roughly 9,791 litres of tequila. 2,282 gallons, or roughly 10,374 litres of Margaritaville margarita mix.
Yes.
Because you have to, clearly.
We're not messing around with the individual ingredients. We're using the margarita mix.
Fuck it, we're getting margarita. Well, it's a Margaritaville casino, isn't it? There was 730 gallons, or roughly 2,763 litres of triple sec, and 3,400 gallons, or roughly 12,870 litres of Lemon X margarita mix. How many different kinds of margarita mixes were they putting into this?
2.
But you shouldn't need that much. It's fucking 3 ingredients.
Yeah, 3
and they're
ingredients.
Like, not only are we going to not just do 3 ingredients, we're going to also use 2 different types of margarita.
I can get it because that would be a lot of limes.
Yeah, but use like lime juice.
Well, yeah, but you got like that's still a lot of limes and lime juice. Like, I don't know why they need 2 different margarita.
There's 2 different kinds of like. Just commit to one. It's Margaritaville. Just go all Margaritaville.
Just use the Margaritaville one. It's fine. You're not even putting it in a margarita glass, so what's the point?
Do you think you'd want to like witness that? I feel like it's just a bit too much.
I reckon it'd be warm, and then it wouldn't be very nice, would it?
Yeah.
Right?
How do you keep that?
You don't want it warm. Like you gotta have it chilled.
Fair. That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
Most expensive Rita in 2013 could be found in Manhattan at the 235th Rooftop Bar and Penthouse Lounge. It cost $1,200, or about £996, and it was made from $1,800, or roughly £1,495 bottle of tequila. Ice made from $450 or £373 bottles of Louis Roederer Crystal Champagne. That's
like the ice cubes were made out of champagne. This is not a proper margarita.
And this is so extra. It was poured into a Ralph Lauren hand-blown Hungarian crystal glass that you could take home with you after. But before you judge, don't judge.
Okay.
Half the money was donated to the charity of the drinker's choice afterwards. So that's quite nice. It's a nice ending. Yeah, but this was then surpassed. In 2017, to celebrate apparently the 70th anniversary of the margarita, but whose story they're going, we don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
So the Selena Rosa restaurant in New York City decided to create the silk stocking margarita, which cost a whopping $2,500 or £2,076 value. Right. And it used tequila from a bottle that was $1,500 or about £1,245. It's the Casa Azul Ultra Anejo tequila. I don't know if I said that right. That's the best way that I could pronounce it.
You said it confidently, so I think you were fine.
Say it with confidence and you've got it. Confidence is key. So yeah, but that one did not donate to charity.
It was just because it had a fancy tequila in it.
Pretty much, I think.
No champagne ice cubes.
No champagne ice cubes.
I feel like there's
no
a
charity
bar
donation.
Now.
No Ralph
got
Lauren
champagne ice cubes in it.
No Ralph
Lauren glass
hand-blown Hungarian glass. Like Hungarian crystal glass. Like that is so extra. It feels right. I mean, I'd consider it. As we sort of
correct.
As we're sort of in February in the month of love, I thought I would just say as well that in 2015, the Iron Cactus in Austin, Texas, offered a 30 grand or 25 grand pound Valentine's Day margarita that came with a pair of diamond earrings. But it wasn't actually confirmed if the meal was included in that. If that was literally just diamond earrings and a margarita. I can't even wear earrings. I've got tunnels. Like, that would be the worst use of $30 grand or 25 grand pounds that I could ever imagine. But I'm going to leave you with this amazing gem of one.
Okay.
You can fry anything in America. You can even fry margaritas. So at the Texas State Fair, you can get a deep fried margarita.
How do you deep fry a margarita?
How do you deep fry a margarita? I'll tell you. So they put the funnel cake batter through a margarita mixer. Okay. Then they fry it. Then apparently they soak it in yet some more margarita. And then they finish it with whipped cream. inside of a salt-rimmed glass.
I would eat that.
I wouldn't. That sounds awful. I would eat deep fried butter before I would have this. I'm interested in deep fried butter. This I'm a bit like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll try that.
So what are your thoughts on those fun facts?
I think the margarita that came with the diamond earrings is ridiculous.
Would you like if Gordon was like, I'm going to take you out, I'm going to get you I know you love margaritas, girl. Because that's obviously how Gordon talks.
That's how Gordon talks, obviously.
He's like, I know you love them. Let me get you one. And it was then also had a pair of diamond earrings.
I mean, I'd drink it because he's already bought it, but like...
Would you be fuming? Because I would be
yes,
so
I'd
mad.
be fuming. I'm like, seriously, we could have spent that on beer.
So if you had to pick, let's say they're the same price point. Let's say they're both the, what should I say, 12 grand or something like that for the one with the Ralph Lauren glass.
Oh, you're going for the one with the Ralph... You go for the one with the Ralph Lauren glass, surely.
Say the earrings were is smaller earrings,
yeah,
but same price point.
Yeah.
Like, which one are you going with? I'm definitely going for the hand-blown Hungarian crystal glass.
I'm going for the glass and the champagne ice cubes. That's what I'm going for.
Like that, I feel like we're missing a
cubes.
trick, and more people need to do champagne ice cubes. I don't think there's anything else to say. I think we just leave it there.
Yeah. Can I have a margarita funnel cake on the side?
Ooh, I don't know. It depends. Do you have a margarita mixer? You definitely won't get one over here. You'll have to go 100% to Texas for that. I don't even think they'll do that. I think in New York they would be like, oh, no.
No, you got to go to Texas for that.
Immediately.
I've been to Texas. That's the sort of thing you do there. Oh, I forgot.
No offence, Texas.
I was saying to Gordon the other week, I was like, I've got a Texas passport. And he was like, have you? And I was like, oh, maybe it's expired. My Texas passport might have expired.
What's a Texas passport?
Well, because you know Texas feels like it's like independent.
Yeah.
And that it's, you know, not a part. You can get in like the souvenir shops, you can get like a passport that makes you a citizen of Texas. And then a citizen of Texas has to sign it for you. My friend signed it for me. I was an official citizen of Texas with my Texas passport.
That feels so weird.
We printed out a little picture of me and put it in there. Like
that feels just as good as like when you used to go to Spencer's Gifts. Now, I don't think that translates to the UK audience, but Americans, you get me. You used to go to Spencer's Gifts and you're like, oh, I've got a McLovin license. like, look at my ID. It's a McLovin ID.
That's exactly what it was.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
I feel like my Texas passport's probably expired.
That feels very Texas. Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Feels very Texas. Well, that was good. I know we only have two of
Dallas.
these ones, but we've only done 2 beers. But surprisingly, there's not that many margarita themed.
We didn't find very many. We found other. I think there were other cocktails that beers tend to lend themselves to better.
But we thought that the margaritas would be interesting, and I think that there were some others previously, but we had missed getting them, so we just ended up with these 2. But I think they're very interesting and two very different ones from each other. And I liked them both. Which one was your favourite out of the 2?
Ooh.
Because they're very different, so it's kind of very different.
Like, I like both of them for different reasons.
Me too.
And definitely the Pastore is, like, as I'm drinking it, I'm enjoying it more. You know, as your palate gets used
to the sharpness.
The sharpness and the acidity. Yeah, I like both of them for different things.
I kind of want to go back to like trying the margarita rice lager after I've just had the sharpness.
Yeah, it's probably going to be sad.
No, I just think
it's still good.
I think it just brings out the lime even more.
Yeah, actually, it's still good. Cause
I would say it dampens the salt, but it brings out the lime.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not going back to my canned cocktail because that's sad.
I want to go back to my canned
elderflower and ginger margarita spritz. Nonsense.
This now the dead man's fingers now just tastes even more like just Sprite or 7-Up, but like not as carbonated. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Let us know if you found any margarita themed beers and any we should check out, or If anyone's like homebrewing one, that would be really interesting to know how you would even homebrew one. That would be cool.
What ingredients are you using? What hops are you using for that? Let us know.
Now I'm having a manic look to be like, does it say the hops? I don't think either of these do.
It might only be a little bit.
I was just curious what hops you would use for that.
I don't even think the Pastore one's got hops in it.
Ooh.
Because they're not listed as an ingredient.
No. Well, let us know. Try to make one yourself. Let us know how you do it. Yeah. Let us know how it comes out. I'm keen to see more.
Tori, if people want to at you for your hatred of margaritas, where can they talk to you?
I feel like it's just going to be like a big hate fest, and I stand by everything I've said. Really,
it's fine. I'll just drink your margaritas.
People are going to be pissed off that I said I'm not that much of a fan of margaritas. That I don't really care about doing shots. That the margaritas I want are all cinnamony and pumpkiny and amaretto.
I mean, that just sounds amazing.
And the fact that I compared the Donzoko even in a light way to Corona with lime. That I talked about my favourite rest stops and how they all have Starbucks. So feel free to come at me with any of that. I'm fine with it. You can find me on Instagram at adventures_in_optimism. You can email me at adventuresinoptimism@gmail.com. And I am on TikTok, but I don't really use that much. But occasionally I put out a banger. And then I just leave it to hang there for a while before my next banger. But if you want
be aware, she will ghost you. She'll post it and run away.
I will.
She ain't immediately to you if you message her.
It's true.
Post and ghost. That's what she does.
I actually am. That's a really good description of it. That's me. I mean, on just Twitter, don't expect me to comment on things once in a millennium, and then I also won't respond if you respond back. So that's me individually, and if you want to message the podcast, you may get through to me, you may get through to Joe. It depends on who has reception and availability at the time that you send your message. But you can do that on Instagram at A Woman's Brew, or you can email us at awomansbrewpodcast@gmail.com. Joe, if people want to talk their love of margaritas with you, because clearly you're the right person to direct that to in this duo.
Come and tell me where I can get a decent margarita in the UK, because I have not found one yet. The search continues. And you can find me at my beer school, which is Love Beer Learning, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and Pinterest. You can also come to my website, which is lovebeerlearning.co.uk, or you can email me at lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Tell me where the good margaritas are. I have not found them. Let's go and finish these lovely beers, because
definitely
they are delish. On that note,
cheers.